Hi, today we're doing an airbrush no machine needed tutorial, and basically what you want to do is you start off with a primer to make sure that you cover all the fine lines and all of the things that could cause any creasing. I'm going to use a little bit and just make sure that you spread it out evenly. You can just apply it with your fingers as a moisturizer. The second step is concealer. The trademark of an airbrush look is Perfect Skin, and I'm going to use Makeup Forever palette number 1. Since I have kind of dark circles, I'm going to go ahead and use a peach corrector and just go ahead and leave it at that. And just the concealer brush and spread it out evenly. Make sure that you don't use something that is too light. I've noticed I've made that mistake that if I've used it something that's too light, it actually makes my eyes look very, very small. Normally I would set this with powder at this point because I don't like to wear foundation too much, but I'm going to wait until I'm pretty much finished to do this step. It's nice and done. And the next step is foundation. You can use a stippling brush or a powder brush. Yes, a blush brush. And what you want to do, you want to go ahead and set your foundation somewhere in a hard surface, like a plastic plate. It could be even. And I'm using the Kevyn Aucoin liquid airbrush. I had to mix it in with a darker color because it didn't really match my skin tone. So you just kind of dot it on the face, make sure that you try to cover every pore, and then you buff. Make sure that you get the areas around the nose and around the hairline. I want a medium coverage. I don't want a heavy coverage, but as you can see, for the nature itself of this makeup, it gives you tends to be a heavier coverage. I do a second coat, and with this one you will begin to see that it will start giving that glowy effect that airbrush makeup normally gives you, just the skin was dewy. Make sure you cover the jawline so you don't see any lines, and buff. See the glow, make sure that it matches your chest. With this light that I'm getting, it reflects a little bit more of my light, so it appears that my face is a little bit lighter, but it's a pretty good match to the rest of my skin. The thing about airbrush, it just reflects light, it makes the skin look glowy, so I'm going to go ahead and use an illuminizer, and you can use your favorite one. This is actually something by Forever 21. It's very, very cheap, but it gives me the results that I want. I use a fan brush to apply in a C form, kind of over the eyebrow and under the eye, under the temple, and the areas that I want to highlight, like my forehead and my chin. You see how it reflects the light? It's subtle, but nice and not too bright. for the next step, I'm just going to use a blush, and you can just use your favorite blush. I'm not going to do a full contouring today because this video won't be too long, but I still wanted to show you just that I'm going to put the blush underneath the setting powder, so that when I actually do use the setting powder, this one is Chanel, and it's satin powder. It's called satin powder from Chanel, and I'm going to put that over the makeup so it looks as if the color would be coming from within. The thing with airbrush, you don't want to see where the blush begins or where it ends. You just want to see the hint of color there. And now I set my concealer with powder, and the last step is putting the powder on the rest of my face. And that's it. I hope that was helpful, and hope you enjoyed it. Bye-bye.